So this is the 6th community garden in the city of Eugene.
The worm bins over here, we try to give them a good mix of the different restaurants and cafes. They like the coffee a lot.
What we'll show you is the system of taking restaurant waste from 3 different restaurants presently to the garden. So there's coffee grounds, all kinds of good goop. I've talked to the city of Eugene. They realize there's a huge problem with organic waste because it's a massive amount of food and it fills up landfills, and why do that? This is our bucket system. We have buckets at the restaurants, and Jeremiah takes the empty buckets and takes them to the restaurants and picks up the buckets that are full. The city of Eugene, a lot of their approaches are macro approaches. So it's kind of like we got to have big trucks take it to a huge composting facility out of town. What's unique about this is that the restaurants, they're very local, so it's a decentralized approach to taking care of organic waste, which is normally put in the landfill.
We just left the farm and we're riding to the cafe. Typically, morning glory where we're going, it's enough material to fill the whole trihauler.
So it's about, on an average week, it's about 15 buckets. Buckets weigh anywhere between 25, 30 pounds. The bicycle aspect makes you feel better. There's big city composting systems, but they're all driving cars. You're not just driving around in a fossil fuel car. It's a whole different idea. Whatever comes out of the dining room here is discarded into the buckets, and then they're being put in there. They're also composting. And from the dish pit, we put almost anything in there that can be broken down. And this is a vegan and vegetarian restaurant, so eggshells, and there's cheese that goes into it, but there's no meat products at all. So everything that's left over is put into here. All of these napkins are compostable, and you can just I've been able to explain to a lot of the employees where all the compost goes, what we produce with the compost, how it benefits them, and I think it's really being aware that it's there. These are organic salad greens. This is all stuff that would normally,
most restaurants would throw away.
Yeah.
After they leave the kitchen, this is where I kind of pick them up. Otherwise, it goes to the dump. Some individuals will have systems set up with smaller restaurants and get their produce leftovers for their compost. But not on such a scale that we do, really. But it is happening more and more because people are starting to garden at home more and more. People are starting to realize what they need to keep their soil rich. Now I'm heading to the farm to put this either into one of our ground composting piles or into one of the roller bins or the worm composting farm. This is where everybody starts smelling my compost, usually behind me. Start getting funny looks. Most people don't know about what we're doing.
Is composting fun?
Composting's fun.
Most people wouldn't do on their days off would be getting buckets of rotting compost, but it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're not just watching stuff being thrown away.
Especially in the urban environments where you have produce coming in from other sources and then the waste is there concentrated in a city. Why not just take it and keep it in the city and start making it into fertile soil and then having urban farming projects? You know, it makes the most sense. I don't think only can it happen, I think it's inevitable pretty much. So the next stop is into the bin for the next 3 to 5 weeks, probably.
And I'm trying to persuade the city to get involved in this in a deeper way. It's kind of tricky because it's such a decentralized, small-scale system. They usually think a lot bigger. But the hope would be that the other community gardens could also do the same thing. So if there are 5 other community gardens, they could connect with the restaurants in their neighborhood and be picking up from their restaurants right where they are and using it in their community gardens.
To keep from stinking next week so much, and to keep the appearance nice for everyone.